Hey, this is something I just want to get off my chest right now. Yesterday I was on Facebook and I was basically sort of got into a debate. Actually, 2 or 3 people got into a debate with this one guy who basically was running down Sasha Banks, said the only reason, and this is the main topic of this, the only reason she got the spotlight like she did is because she was Snoop Dogg's cousin. I've been good about the language and stuff because, to be honest, my natural style is I can make my point without that. But let me steal a line from Prince GMO to that dude that said that. And he's not the only fan I've heard say this or read that said this. But to those fans, I would say this. Shut your dumb, goofy ass up. Snoop Dogg, the last I checked, had nothing to do with WWE other than the fact that he's a celebrity Hall of Famer and he's a super fan. He really had nothing to do with it. Sasha Banks was already wrestling on the indies. And as far as getting her foot in the door, he had nothing to do. In fact, most people didn't even know she was even kin to Snoop Dogg until she came to the main roster. When she was on NXT, and the reason I got this picture up of Snoop Dogg and Brandy, it's funny how they always bring up Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg. Keep in mind, Sasha Banks is also related to Brandy. And she is also related to Brandy's brother, Ray J. And she is also related to one half of the Dog Pound. If you remember that group, that duo from the 90s when they was in on Death Row Records. She's also kin to Corrupt, one half of the Dog Pound. But it's funny how no one brings them up. Just saying. And I just think that logic is stupid. Very dumb. The fact that she's kin to these people, especially Snoop, has nothing to do with her success or failures in WWE. Snoop has no influence in that company whatsoever. No one said, the only reason Charlotte, well, some fans have said it, but the majority of fans, nobody says, the only reason Charlotte's where she is because she's Ric Flair's daughter. No one says that. I mean, a few fans do, but most fans don't say that. So use the logic, and Flair would actually have, and my point there is, Ric Flair would actually have some influence, being he's a legend in the wrestling business. Snoop Dogg, other than being a super fan of WWE, he has no influence on WWE and their decisions whatsoever. Yet some fans try to use this as the reason Sasha Banks is where she is. If that was the case, David Otunga should be a 6-time world champion. Because who was he screwing for the longest time until the last couple of years? Jennifer Hudson, who was definitely a bigger star than him. By that logic, he should be a 6-time world champion, or maybe 20-time world champion by that logic. I mean, come on. And shout out to Ace. Let me make a quick shout out. I listened to his video on the silent race war in WWE. There's one point he did make about Sasha Banks' turn. I've been pretty much on her side, but I do agree with him when he says, and granted, the guy's an admitted Alexa Bliss fan, but when he says Sasha needs to kill it as far as this feud with Alexa Bliss, because given that Alexa Bliss is one of Vince's girls, if she decides to make a big complaint to Vince, Sasha might be shooting herself in the foot even more. And when I think about it, I'll be like, you know what? I got to agree with the brother. I got to agree with him. So yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, and I've never understood it anyway, because I'm like, what did Alexa Bliss do to you? Did you catch her trying to seduce Makazi or something? I mean, what did she ever do to you? I mean, I'm just looking from the outside looking in. I don't know neither one of these people. But I'm just saying, I've never understood this back and forth between them anyway. But just based on the evidence I've seen from the outside, I would have to be on the side of Alexa Bliss here. I mean, I mean, what did that girl ever do to you? On the real. But anyway, I just want to get that off my chest. I'm out.